Joining us now, venture capitalist and founder and former CEO of Doubleclick, one of the largest internet ad platforms, Kevin O'Connor. Kevin, great to see you. You had a terrific piece in the Wall Street Journal. Now, tech stocks are mostly up big time this year. If there is a real imminent threat to these companies, why are their stocks doing so well?
Well, I don't think there is an imminent threat. Every election cycle, they need a punching bag, and it really helps when the punching bag has a lot of money. And
That's true.
Big tech has accumulated a lot of money. It also helps that, when the punching bag isn't very well liked by, it's kind of a populist movement. And I think the tech companies have a real PR problem with the general population. I think there's a real backlash. People don't like the massive accumulation of wealth. They don't like the arrogance, the sloppy privacy issues. They don't like it. But there's no law against making bad business decisions or not being liked. So I think a lot of what people see is what Trump is doing. This is just bluster. This is part of the free market. He's sending a shot across the bow. And I think smart people, the smart money, just they don't believe that there's any. There's no law against being big and successful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, although Kevin, I mean, in a lot of ways, people are forgetting that the other big event of the late 1990s, in addition to the impeachment of President Clinton, was the antitrust suit against Microsoft. And that really could have gone either way. And for a period of time, the stock came under pressure. The company remained immensely profitable throughout that period. So it is certainly true that investors could be saying, not unreasonably, that no matter what happens, these companies are going to be immensely profitable. If they're broken up, others will be profitable. But there is more of a risk, I think, than you're suggesting of actual regulatory action.
Well, sure, there could be, but I think people are going to look back at what happened to Microsoft. That was I believe, an agreement that they finally came to, and it was a crazy agreement. If you look back today, the whole issue was putting a internet browser in your operating system. People thought that was somehow, abusing their power. You would have been an idiot not to put a browser in your operating system. So I think people look back. Technology changes so fast. Everyone today is a click away from being put out of business. And by the time Congress gets around to this, I think the competitive landscape is going to change quite a bit, especially as it relates to social media. I think social media is under consumer attack right now.
Kevin, it's Carol Roth. I contend that one of the reasons why the market isn't bothered by this is that should there be any regulation sometimes is welcomed by big business because it's anti-competitive. Any regulation makes it much more difficult for a startup or a small business owner who doesn't have the same sort of resources to compete with the big businesses who do have the resources to take on that regulation. What's your take on that?
Absolutely. I mean, you take a look at, for example, on the privacy side, it's very easy. Everyone has a Google account. Everyone has a Facebook account. It's very easy for them to get personally identifiable information and to get people to sign an agreement, and they control, an immense amount of data. So it's way easier for them to do it than for a small company. If you take a look at some of the EU regulations, how many hundreds of millions or billions of dollars have been wasted from people clicking, yes, I accept this, yes, I accept this. So I agree with you there.
Kevin, Steve Forbes here. Look at your crystal ball. What is the next big disruptive thing coming along? I remember, I'm old enough to remember back in caveman days, IBM dominated the world. Then came mini computers and the PCs, and the company nearly went down in the early 90s. What are the big disruptive technologies you see coming along where the market, in effect, will defang the fangs rather than blustering politicians?
Great question.
Well, the obvious one is artificial intelligence. I think every business plan we get has an obligatory AI element to it. Usually it's not. AI is very debatable. I think people overestimate the power of AI where we are today. But clearly, artificial intelligence is going to revolutionize a lot of industry. The other one is just vertical. Basically every industry is becoming a technology company. Whether it's fintech or construction tech or anything else, it's like everyone, technology is infinitely leverageable. Humans are not. So there's going to be every industry is going to go through a transformation if it hasn't already done so.
All right. We got to leave it at that, Kevin, but we got to have you back. Please come back. You're terrific. We like having you here.